behind you. So like any PGP keys, or sorry, like any key generators, Workday has inbuilt key generation policies. So they'll basically, we can create a private key pair. Key pair is nothing but your public key and a private key combination. And you can also create a public key if you have a public key that is given by a vendor. So task is pretty simple, create public key. So there is a PGP public key and there is an X509 public key. So X509 public key is mainly used for authentication purposes. PGP key is for file encryptions. So create PGP public key. So I give a PGP public key name, any key or something. Okay. And I can provide a little bit of description for that. And then you have your PGP public key, right? The key that the vendor provides you, or the system that you are going to send the file, it will actually provide you a public key, which you can enter it here. Most of the public keys start with start public key, something like this, and then end with public key. So you can create a public key like this. Okay, so that's your public key right now. And then you got your public key from your vendor, right? So you can use it in any document deliveries. So you can encrypt a file using a public key. So your end customer can decrypt it using its key pair. Right, so you can go to my integration system. If I have a delivery, wow, then let's do INT 400 cities. We have a EIB somewhere, right? We have an EIB somewhere. What's my number? EIB. That's a bad look. I'm gonna create a simple EIB right now. Create EIB. Test. It's an outbound EIB. Data source is a custom report. I'll give it from my custom reports. Advanced. Yeah, advanced report, and then treatment. No transformations. So while delivering a file, if I pick an SFTP folder, SFTP server as my delivery method, when I go to details, where I find my sequence generator and other stuff, I see my encrypt using option, right? And you can see our newly created any key public key as a public key. So you can use this key to encrypt a file, and the end user or the end customer or the vendor can decrypt it using its key pair. Similar way how you deliver it, you should be able to decrypt a file that you retrieve. So you can create a private key pair for that, create private PGP private key pair. So what PGP private key pair does is, it will give you a public key and its validity date, okay? And this is your public key. You can share this public key with your vendor, right? So they can encrypt your files using this public key, and you should be able to decrypt it using this key pair. So Workday does not show you your private key, like you can't access your private key. You can only have access to the instance. So it automatically gets the private key in the back and then decrypts it for you. So we can see it in inbound integrations, like the integration that we have developed. Studio. So you can go to your document retrieval, configure document retrieval, and then retrieve files from external location. You can add a transport type of SFTP. And then you have an option called decrypt using product cancel. Decrypt using. And then this is the PGP private key that we have created. So whenever vendor encrypts it with this public key that you have shared with him, this key pair will be able to decrypt it, right? That's how you use your PGP keys. So pretty simple setup, and in some scenarios, right, if you were not able to run the integration, you already got a file, you can't really encrypt it yourself. You might have to ask the vendor to reprocess it because you don't see the private key pair. All you see is a public key, and you can't just rerun the integration without an encrypted file in some scenarios. Okay. Similar way to your PGP keys, you also have your X509 key pair. So X509, I give it a 509 key, and then you get a certificate, you get a RSA formatted public key. You can share this public key and also the certificate if the vendor is accepting certificates with the vendor. And when you're connecting to their server, right? In this example, I'm going and connecting to their external server. Right, SSH authentication, and then I use my private key to actually go and connect to the server. So that basically authenticates that I am the true. I have the key paid for the public key that we have already shared with him, right? So that means we are pretty much securely authenticating using this X509 key, right? We typically don't create the X509 private key because nobody will be connecting to Workday, right? Unless some scenarios will happen like SSO, single sign-on, where you will create a public key. You might need to create a public key because they're directly authenticating to Workday. But otherwise, you typically will create X509 private key pair and share the public key to the vendor. So you can access their SFTP server using that key pair. Okay. Let me cover all these. And haven't we already seen how to create an integration system user and security group? Did we? I don't remember. Have we done ISUs?
I think so. You showed that for the integration. What was that? Super user, right?
Yeah.
ISU.
Yeah.
I mean,
ISU is system user.
System user. Sorry.
Yeah.
You had showed that's what you create when you are doing for the integrations.
Yeah. So just wanna bring it up again. So I remember we creating the security groups. So let me create. There is a type of group called the Integrated System Security Group. Security group, and you might have already seen the other group you have created, role-based and others. But Integration System Security Group, this is the one that you can associate an integration system user to, right? So you have constrained and unconstrained. Unconstrained, it's not bounded by any organization. Constrained, you can bound it with a specific organization. Similar to any other group, ISSG, INT 400 something, 404. And then you assign a system user. So I'm going to create a system user in a different tab. User, new password. And I'm going to assign this user to my SSG. And then once my user is assigned, I have to give security permissions to my security group, all the domains that it needs to access certain applications. So for example, in our integration that we have created yesterday, the studio integration, right? Currently, this is running on my user. It does not have a system user here, right? So if it has to run on a system user, it should have enough permissions to do same job in a sense. So it has to have access to same job business process, and it has to have access to the data that it is getting from the report.
यहाँ पे है इसलिए मैंने कोई particular text टच कर दिया.
Hello, I didn't understand that. Okay.
Sorry, there was
So,
some in the background who was speaking here.
Yeah. So your ISSP, your security group should have access to all these fields. Let's just create an ISSP and like finish it off. Right. So I need access to my job title, position, status. I can go to the field, view security, and then identify the domain it should have access to. But in this case, it should have access to all positions. And I'm using a get here, right? I'm getting data from a report into my studio, so I should have get all positions. Yeah, current staffing information. And it's there. And then I'm pretty sure active status is also part of current staffing information. So we should be good there. Yeah, current staffing information covers that. Job title should also have that. It's not configurable, so we should be fine. Employee ID is also not configurable. This comp grade and everything will have more security. Compensation by organization is what we need. I'm going to assign compensation by org. Look at data compensation by organization. Yep. Should be the same. Yeah. In package, it should be also with the same domain. Yep. We're good there. So, and also I need access to all workers data source. This is important. Not just the fields, but the data source entirely. I'm gonna get some other fields in here. So what are my filters? Do I have any filters? My employee ID is filtered, so I should be good. Here I don't need government ID. Worker IDs. I'll do worker IDs just to make sure I have. So we have access to all the 4 domains that we need. And I'll also give access to this user to own a report. I'll do this report. Just that. What do I have? Custom report. Custom report, manage all custom reports so that it can own. I don't think we need to give administration and creation. So I think I'm good. And as well, I need to give it access to integration domains as well to give it access to run. So debug, it has to have access to event, process, integration reports, Security is fine. Setup, nope, not needed. Build is not needed. Configure is also not needed. Now it has access to all the integration domains, report domains, so it can own a report and own an integration. And then it has access to get, right? And also we need to give it an access to change our business process. So let me go ahead, go back and see view, security for secureable item. Change of. Change of web service. The change of web service is defined by business process initiating action. It's a business process security. So I can do it in different ways. I can go to my BP change job, BP column, change job. Oh, come on. Actions, business process policy, edit. Business process policy, edit. And then I should give it an access to the web service, change of web service. It's probably already added this, but yeah. ISSP 404. Now I can activate my business process, activate my security policies, activate pending security policies. And ta-da. So now this ISSP, the Integration System Security Group Unconstrained, has access to all these domains and the business process policies. And this user can now have access to my integration. It can run my integration. So I'm going to actions on my integration. We have seen this. Workday account, edit, test user. Okay. Okay. Now this is good. And I also need to share the same access with my report, same user with my report. Right. Workday account, test user. Good. Report, transfer ownership. Let's see. This guy's not taking. This guy needs more security than what? Yeah, he needs a little bit of more security to own this report. Maybe the report administration is also needed. I'm just gonna share it with him for now. What? Did somebody remove my access? Why am I not able to share this report? Interesting. Not right. Yes. That's everyone. I mean, were you guys able to share reports before? I thought we will be. Interesting. I'm not gonna check. If you guys were also not able to do it, then I'm gonna proxy and do some debugging. But this is something weird. Maybe it's for my account only. Anyways. Okay, so we have our integration now. I mean, and then we have already seen notifications also, right? So we have seen notifications. So you can configure notifications on an integration. You can add a subject. We can add a body. We already have seen this, so let's not worry about it. So this is the entire thing, right? And integration will look like, including the notifications, and security is also very critical in any integration build. You have to finish it with a Workday account. Okay. That's an overall. Now, going on to a different topic, BERT reporting. BIRT, BERT, Business Intelligence Reporting Tool. So this is a little bit off topic. It's mostly used to create PDF files. So within my studio, actually, if I already have it, I have Workday. I have installed Report Designer. You guys can install a Report Designer here. Do you want to install Report Designer and its functionality? So use Workday within the studio, and you'll see install Report Designer. Let's install it. And while it's installing, I'll show you some topic called Business Form Layout. Business Form Layout. So what? Report writer, setup administrator. Okay. Okay. So view business form layout. So business form layouts are something like your offer letter, your compensation statement, something that changes dynamically. Like it has to create a PDF form with an outline, boundaries, and everything, right? Like a formatting using company logo and other stuff. So you can create PDF files like that. What you have to do is you have to create a business BERT report or report design file and then put it in a business form layout. So when you run a Workday report, it results in output in a PDF. So something like let's see compensation letter, for example. It has a report design, right? So a custom report is used is compensation letter. So there is a custom report used. So this report, compensation letter, this report has like 11 fields in it, and it is used in business form layout tag. So when I run it, if I have to, ouch, how do I do?
So BERT is nothing but a tag. These are advanced reports, right?
Yeah, I mean, these are all advanced reports. BERT is just a tag. It's just a report tag. For you to search using this report tag, what are all the reports that are part of it?
Like a type of a report, which are just the data will change, but the format will stay the same. It's like a template.
Yeah.
I'm sure on the finance side, they may have the form which you submit in the to the Wall Street. Is it K10, I10, something?
I mean, most of the cases I've seen talent cards using this BERT and employees' comp statements, stock options. Like when a company provides stock options to their employee, they give a printed statement how many stocks they're getting and things like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was working on the Hyperion side, we had a similar thing. It would pick up the earnings per share. It would pick up the sales, actual sales, all of that, and we'll submit to. Yeah, similar to what you're showing me here.
So it's pretty much the same process. You have your custom report as your source, and you create a .rpt design file. I don't have any examples in this tenant. So you create RPT design file. We're going to do it anyways. I'll show you in studio how to do it. We create an RPT design file, and then this file is basically the format, how it looks like. and this is the underneath report that this RPT design file is using. My studio comes back online. Okay. I'm gonna create a new. My other business farm intelligence reports, and then create an RPT. You can create a report project and then a report. So RPT, and then associate that within your package. So I don't have a. Let's do a new package first. Other, let's do a report project. Give it a project name. Report bird something. Finish. Yes, I want to open a bird. So you see a different perspective. This is different. This is Workday Studio. This is our perspective where we see all the palettes. Report design is an entirely different perspective where you see different palettes. So what you'll see here is, I don't need this. I'm going to create another file here, new report, and then assign it within this project. I gave it a name called new report.rpt design. Next. My first report, I'll start with something like this, or I can do a blank report. Do this. Finish. So this is your PDF file or the file that you will be seeing in your output, right? So if you want to include some data elements here, you might have to get a, you might need a company logo, right? So you can reorder your birth. Come on, remove, go away. Yeah, before going to the order, let's see how data is. So currently this is just all static text. A customer listing, I can change it to something that I need. Strange. And these are all names, but if you want to add a row here or data elements in here, you want to get the data first, right? So you go to your data explorer on the left, data sources. You have to create a data source, new data source. Okay, create a data source from one of these following, right? So in our case, we are having a Workday report data source. So we're going to click that. Next. And you can get a report description from Workday, or you can get it from Workday, or you can download a Workday XML and upload it here directly, local data file, right? So select the report definition from Workday or from a local file in the. So you'll basically give the XSD, the WSDL or the XSD of your Workday XML. Otherwise, if I can also directly connect to Workday. Reports owned by me. Advanced. Oh, I haven't connected to anything. Access settings. Okay. Okay, tested successfully. I'm gonna just refresh it again. So to new data source from Workday report data source. Next from Workday performance DMS reports on by me. Next. So I see my CR advanced report. Finish. Same thing, you can report a sample data, so you can test it within the BERT itself. So you can download Workday. It will automatically download at least 10 entries. Limit download to 10 entries. You don't have an option to just do anything. Download. Finish. Now you have created your data source. So what we typically do is also create data sets to access certain fields. So I create a new data set using this data source. So now I can see all the report fields that are coming out of our advanced report. So these are all the five or six fields that we have created in our advanced report, and these are all the XML names, right? So these are my output columns. I can change the display name key. I can create an alias here, things like that if you need. Otherwise, you have your entire data set. You have all the fields here. I can now drag and drop field in a value here directly. Okay. So this is your entire, now you are connected to your data set. So you have access to your data, and now you can create data in your BERT report. Sorry, you can create a report using your data. So while doing that, right, this is a pre-built template. It's looking like an Excel. But if you want to add a table, you have like all different report palettes, same thing, to do different jobs. So you can add an image here, and you can give a URL, or you can actually directly include that image here, browse the image file. So for example, if you want to put a company logo in here, you can directly browse it from your workspace, and then you can use that image in here. Or if you want to put a dynamic image, you have to have a dynamic data set that's coming in. But in this case, we'll probably see a image, like a static image, like a company logo. You can export a company logo and put it in your workspace, and you can see it here, and you can import it. And you can create grids, mostly like tables, right? Same thing like before. You can create multiple grids, and then you can assign values within the grid. So assigning values is pretty easy. You just go and drag and drop. It will sit in there. You might have like 30 or 40 fields. I've seen BERT reports that creating advanced compensation statements. Like for example, annual bonus. Whenever you annual bonus or a mid-year performance review comes in, you'll basically provide PDF files for each worker based upon his performance evaluation, right? So, and that is one best use case for BERT reporting. You create compensation documents with his performance rating, salary increments, and everything, and you use this report to generate those, and you will send it to all workers. Sending to all workers is also another studio in one case, just because you want to upload those files that you have created for each worker into their worker profile. So you use put worker documents API, something like that. And then you can put a list, you can put a table with number of columns, just grid. You can display also charts using the data, and you can also select data directly here, like what is your X, Y parameters, right? What is your X series and what's your Y series, and what's gonna look like. I don't have, put my grade as row, and then I can put my employee ID as Y. The data type employee ID is compatible with Pathways. Okay, got it. You probably need that. Yeah, we don't. Let's go active status. Yeah. The true or false. So I have now grade based upon how many grades I have, how many active or inactive files. And our test data has only one grade. So that's why it's already displaying me one grade here. Right. So use data from dataset, pretty good. Next, you can add other parameters here. You can select the background if you want, color it out. You can set properties for your X and Y axis, reformat them, change their naming conventions and everything. Chart title, log and everything. Finish. So one other important thing other than this report item is when you go to any box or anything in this report design, I don't know how to put it, but everything is a cell in here. So every small item is a cell. So this small box is a cell itself, and this entire table is a cell itself, right? So when you click on it, you see properties below. Right click property. My view window, show view.
So Krishna,
Yeah.
is there a better market for RPT design type of reports than the XML reports which we generated within the Workday?
So, I mean, most of the people, they don't use this RPT report design. So these are like one-offs. So, and this is a very limited skill set in the market, pretty limited. If you just have an idea of it, it actually adds up on your resume, and you can figure it out. So I haven't designed anything yet on RPT design, so I technically don't know, but I've learned it through my studio experiences here. But this will help you in a scenario if you, I mean, you won't have an entire project on RPT design. You'll have an integration implementation or something like that, and RPT design is probably considered as one integration among all other systems.
Okay.
This is just possible. You might have to create compensation statements, talent cards, anything. It's a one skill, nice to know skill.
Right. So in PeopleSoft, we have similar, like, called as crystal reports.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I don't know how much demand crystal reports have, but
well, you know, the market is getting destroyed. They're all now getting converted. So
okay. Yeah.
Everything is XML based now. So be a publisher, XML, that's what the world is headed towards there. Because SAP bought, I think it's SAP who bought that. So
yeah, SAP bought.
Right. So because of that, they stopped supporting it in the new version.
Okay. Well, I mean, but this is also some of the people say this is not a Workday tool. Definitely not a Workday tool. They got it from somewhere and integrated it with Eclipse.
It looks like it. It looks like it because you're getting the data source, Workday, getting the data, and then later on you just not you. I mean, this is a way for presentation.
Yeah. And you see, right, this BERT is typically used for different data sources. So you have your...
Okay. ODBC, JDBC.
Yeah, I don't know what are these events. So I'll go with one. Anyway, so this is just an add-on kind of a thing. Okay. And what I'm saying is everything here is a cell. When you go to your properties, you can see a lot of information or a lot of configuration that you can do upon one particular cell. Right. For example, if I have this range, this header, I can go and add some comments. Not comments. Key name. Property editor. Yeah, property editor. Sorry. Property editor. I can set a visibility, and I can say hide this element, and then hide it when an expression is true. Right. So I have an option to hide my header when I don't want it to show for an active status equal to 0, right? We can do something like that. So you click on the function, you basically, BERT functions, all I'm trying to do is just see if something is equal to this or not, logical function. Okay, but how do I put my is that equal to?
Yeah, you're right. RPT Design or BERT is a company called Actuate Corporation.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's been there.
not definitely not working.
Yeah, it's been there in the market since 2005, 2007. So it's been,
Okay.
you can open it in Eclipse also. So just do some research.
Yeah, and if you have questions, right, I consider BERT help pretty much very easy than your regular studio. You can do writing expressions and then see how to write an expression. I mean, this is not required for you. Uh, it's not a required thing, but it's always nice to know. I can write a data set row name and I can put an employee ID. Employee ID, and then I add an operator equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what my condition is basically saying is only show this header or this cell, this particular highlighted cell, when my employee ID is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in such scenarios, right, you can write something similar to, for example, in my scenario, I have seen compensation statements that are created for mid-year and annual performance review. And mid-year will have a different heading. It will have a mid-year performance review, annual will have annual performance review. But both are using the same report design. So what they basically did is they created two cells and they overlapped on each cell. And one cell has a visibility condition saying if it's they created a flag in our report data source. So you have a flag that's coming in our data set saying if this is annual review or a mid review. So if it's a mid review, you see the mid performance review in the output. If it's an annual review, you see that, right? And you can also, there are general settings. You can add a constant text, range there, font sizes, fonts. You can do pretty much what you can do in using a Word or something. But use a property, advanced. Okay. And so once you have it saved, so once you have it, just save Control S. Let me add a couple of these. Let's see if we can get this to working. Let me remove this. Delete. I'm getting active status here. I'm getting grade here. I'm getting job title here. I'm going to replace this with I saved my report design, and it is now in my workspace right now. So how do I kind of put it in my tenant, right? So you don't deploy it like you do your regular class, but you create a business form layout, and you give it a name. My business form layout. Resulting document expiring in 30 days. Kind of thing. And then you click on report design, and then you give it a report design. Create business form report design attachment. Select files, go to your C drive. Let me see if I go to my PC. C drive, users, workspace. Because that's in my workday workspace. So I go to my workspace. Not this. This one. Do I have a different workspace? class workspace. That's a different workspace. Okay. I'm in C for class, C for class report bird, and then I found my report design, RPT design file. It's okay. And you select a custom report that has to be used with this report design. Yeah. Oh, well, this is just a minimum needed, so it's okay. Now when I go to my report, it will now say it is being used in a birth or the business form layout. Report definition is used in integration report field and then integration system. Let's just try and run it. I'm not sure it will work, but give it a try. Oh, that's not how you run it. Business form layout. Post printed PDFs to download. I now got an option to share. Wow. Active business form layout. And what is the name that we gave it here? My business form layout. What? Must have a value. Okay. What is not there? Oh, I probably don't have access to create a business form layout or create a custom business form layout. So once you add it here, when you run your report, it should give you access to download it. A similar way how we downloaded it, but now you'll get it in this format that you have created. Let's see what's the time. It's defined for implementers. I don't know why we are not able to run it. Default print layout, you have to set it to this business form layout, but entered information does not meet the field. So I have a security issue. I'm guessing probably in my securities or this tenant is only for implementers. Otherwise, what you do is you go to your actions, layout, manage layout, you add your business form layout that you have created, and then default the print layout. So it will automatically default the report printing, or whenever you run a report and print it to PDF, it will default to your report design layout. I saw a question or something from Vivek. Looks like I didn't get notification. We'll double check. Oh, Anita to everyone. Okay. Okay. Uh, so any questions, guys? I mean, not on specifically on this topic, but any other topics. Uh, so what I'm going to do is I owe you guys an assignment. So I'm going to prepare a studio assignment. I'll try to include an API call. I'll definitely include an API call. I'll definitely include a report, and you guys have to do a validation. I'm thinking of doing a change job and the termination together. Like depending on your input file or flag that comes in my input file. I also try to prepare an input file format at least. You guys can change the data within that input file and test, run, create your own integration. Any questions, anyone? And I'll try to do it by end of the day today, or you should see the assignment coming by tomorrow. And what do you think the best time we can connect next week? Monday, or do you guys feel weekend is sufficient, or this week is sufficient? We can do on a Saturday, or if you guys can take a weekend, so we can do it on Monday or Tuesday. I would say give 1 week from today and do it on a Tuesday.
Right.
Tuesday or Wednesday, Krishna?
Okay, let's do Wednesday, because if I give my assignment tomorrow, you have a week. Yeah.
If everybody is okay with that, like I think Wednesday would be the good option.
Yeah. If I don't have any objections, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday works for me.
Okay. So I'll send out an invite. I'll cancel our regular invites and I'll set up other invite for Wednesday.
And also, can you upload the recording as well, Krishna? The recording.
Yeah. So all the other recordings should be already in there.
Yeah, it just today's, I think.
Yeah. Today's I'll upload. Other than that, you should already have everything. Yeah, you have everything. Stop there. Let me guys give you some material also. So.
So Krishna, you want me to take the course and feedback today or a normal feedback only?
Course and actually, I mean, this is already almost at the end. We don't
Okay.
have anything. The next session will be like Q&A and looking at assignments. And if guys have questions, we can answer, and we'll work in the next session. That
Okay, so I'll start giving the link to everybody now.
okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to find some documentation that I have stored.